The vampires have had it too good for too long. I think it's time we rectify that. The first step to dealing with a bunch of blood-sucking vampires is getting good with God. How do we get good with God? Kill zombies. Just make sure he's not looking when you resurrect them. I bought a few hundred ensouled troll heads and got to work putting them down. It takes a bit longer than offering bones on an altar, but it's pretty affordable prayer XP. My opinion on that might change when the levels start requiring more XP, but until then, heads. That's 60 prayer, the required level to use chivalry. I haven't actually unlocked the prayer yet. You gotta do King's Ransom and the Knight's Training Wave thing after the quest first, but we'll get back to that. Stronger prayers or no, with my loins girded by the powers of Ralos and Ranul, I guess. Who do the Archaeus people worship? I don't know. It's time to give the Myrek a hand. Or the Myreki. I'm gonna say Myrek. Myrek feels better. I like this Vanstrom guy. Seems like a genuine fella. Veliath, I've arrived with supplies. It was pretty easy to find you guys. I don't know why that Vanstrom guy needed me to do it for him. Oh, here he is now. Okay, Van, well now you're just making me look bad. I'd be lying if I said a clue scroll wasn't the main reason why I'm doing these vampire quests. One of the steps requires me to dig east of Berderot, and you gotta do the Myrek quest before you can get over here. What is happening? Every hard clue I do, I'm getting God stuff. Alright. Another hard clue I got from, I want to say Hellhounds? I don't even remember. While training to get 65 defense for King's Ransom, wanted me to play the song Little Cave of Horrors for Cecilia. I remembered her name. That song unlocks in the Cave Horror Cave, ain't that expected, on Mostly Armless. To get to Mostly Armless, you gotta do the quest Cabin Fever, which means you gotta do Zogre Flesh Eaters and Rumdeal. Don't worry, Burn Skeleton Man, I'll save you. I don't think he's gonna make it. He didn't make it. Killing Slash Bash actually scared me a little bit because I didn't expect to see a green loot beam rise out of his corpse. 3 orc bones are worth over 130k. Is there somebody out there with more GP than sense who just wants to eke out just slightly more XP per hour when training prayer? How much money would you have to make per hour for this to be a better option than, say, Superior Dragon Bones? Rum deal. Done deal. Yar, matey. Did ye know a matelotage was akin to a sailor marriage, or a pirate marriage, basically an ocean people marriage? Though not explicitly a romantic act, it did bind two officially together as companions. Aye, these matelots would share an income, inherit property when one of them joined old Davy Jones deep in the drink, and they would fight to protect each other's interests. Were there romantic relationships among matelots? Among matelots? I don't know, it's a French word, probably. Yar, I'd be surprised 'twere there not, for not even the sea can stop true love. Mostly Armless. Let's get that music track. Yeah, alright. Grinding some more Slayer points, I got a bear task, figured to be worthwhile to finish the task with bear heads instead of running around the mines southwest of the Legends Guild. I don't know if it was really worth doing, but it was interesting to try out. So I got 2 brimstone keys from that one greater demon task. Okay, we're gonna have to kill 132 hellhounds in the Witch Haven dungeon. That's inconvenient, but we could do that. That shouldn't be too hard. Let's see what loot we got. Some gold ore, and some dragon arrowheads. Alright. Not bad. So it took a bit, and I didn't have a replay buffer running like an idiot, but I got 65 defense during this Hellhound task, which means I can now do the quest King's Ransom. Your Honor, I demand my client be found not guilty on the grounds that I literally have a magic staff and I could unmake you all at this very moment. Okay, last time I cast this De-Stonifier spell, it didn't go too well. But what are the chances that it goes wrong twice? Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's get on with the Knight's Training Waves. It's not super exciting, but this is a guaranteed way of getting it done. Every attack drains some of your melee stats, so flinching helps avoid that completely, and you also take a lot less damage. Although I did bring some super restore potions anyway, because you're gonna get hit probably once or twice while trying to get him into the safe spot. Also, that lamp in my inventory is from the quest. I want to use it on Herblore, but I need level 50 first. Success! The XP reward gets me to 66 defense, but more importantly, I can now use Chivalry. It's not quite as good as Piety, but it's better than what I've been using. It also drains a less prayer than Steel Skin, Ultimate Strength, and Incredible Reflexes together, while also being stronger. It has a drain effect of 24, while the other 3 have a drain effect of 12 each. Before moving on, let's get rid of this dumb lamp in my inventory. I only need a few thousand Herbler XP to get 50, so it won't take very long. I don't even need to bother with a whip pan for this one. There you go. Our next step in dealing with the Vampire Menace is Darkness of Hallowvale. A walking simulator if there ever was one. At least the Mire Ditch ambiance is inviting. So, vampires have either some wicked spine problems, or they've got copious assets. But speaking of butts, I can't help but wonder, would vampire droppings be like bat guano? And would it be effective fertilizer? Or does shapeshifting into humans give them human-like digestion, leading to severe constipation from all the iron in their diet? A better question still, if they produce quality fertilizer, would it be unreasonable to arrange a deal with humans trading blood for poop? Humans would quite literally be getting the shit end of the deal, but at least there's some agency there. With Darkness of Hallowvale completed, we're now out of the original old school vampire quests and we're into the new old school stuff. A Taste of Hope. Ugh, look at that monstrosity. Disgusting. Oh, and that flayed creature is gross too. From a single taste of one's blood, it can track its foe anywhere. As long as none of the Myrak use their blood as, say, an ingredient to open a door or something, we should be fine. Well, somebody opened the blood door. Whoa, what the hell's going on with it? That can't be intent. Oh, you know, it's probably the animation smoothing that's making it all wonky. The animation smoothing plugin makes 99% of the game look great, but then there are some parts of the game where it interpolates, if that's how it works. It interpolates the animation wrong and you get stuff that looks like this. Pretty goofy. Alright, Abomination, I hope you're not lactose intolerant because it's time for some cheese. Yeah. Hey guys, I killed it. It's safe. Guys? Where'd you go? You know, I know he's telegraphing a really strong hit, but the little foot shuffle Rannis does is kinda cute. It's like he's rubbing his socks on the carpet to give you a static shock. People of Mire Ditch, Rannis is dead. Hope is here. Shouldn't I stake his chest? Or is that only a thing with Draynor? The last quest in the Vampire series for now is Sins of the Father, but there are a few skilling requirements I need to get sorted first. We're gonna start with woodcutting. I need 62, and I'm only at 55, meaning I need around 150,000 more XP. 2 ticking teaks with a dragon axe is over 100,000 XP per hour at level 50. So I went to the Isle of Souls to try it out. I don't have a dragon axe, but whatever. There's also Apatol, but without Monkey Manda's 2 done, the wildlife can be a bit annoying. You can get the 2 birds near the teak trees to attack you by casting non-damaging spells of them like Curse or something like that. It takes a bit of finagling, but you can get them set up so they attack you on different ticks. By doing this, when you click off the tree, you'll turn to attack the birds, assuming you clicked off the tree at the right tick. With a bow in hand and no arrows, you won't kill them, and you'll interrupt your skilling action at the same tick as the speed of the weapon. I think that's how this works. This might also be like a cargo cult kind of a thing, where it's like, you gotta set everything up in the right way for it to work correctly. Don't question it, just do it this way. This seems to work out. The tick manipulation thing might as well just be magic, nobody knows how it works. Once you turn towards the birds, you can click back on the tree, and you roll a check to see if you get a log. The next tick, you click on the ground, turn to the bird, then click the tree, and then roll for another log. The reason it's faster XP is because clicking on the tree and waiting for logs only rolls a log check every 4 ticks. By 2 ticking, you have the potential to get a log every 1.2 seconds every 2 ticks. It's like animation canceling in a bunch of other games. It truncates the action, allowing another action to be executed. In this case, it's more woodcutting. If you have a 100 BPM metronome running, which you can get in RuneLite as a plugin, you can just click in between the tree and the ground on each beat. You could also drop a log rather than clicking the ground. Anything that interrupts the woodcutting process should work. It's way easier than tick mining granite, but it's not easier than just chopping trees and doing forestry events. So I chopped maples until I had enough anima bark to buy a log basket. It holds an additional 28 logs, so it makes your trips between the bank and the trees a little less frequent, and the logs go into it automatically if you keep it open. Note this footage is from before Forestry Part 2 was released. No two-handed axes, none of the new events, just the convoluted stuff from the first half of the update. I'm kidding though, overall I like forestry. Some of it does feel a bit over-designed, but at its core I think it was a good update. Once I got 60, I moved on to yew trees where I was actually getting a decent XP rate. Maybe I'm the weird one, but it's kind of odd for the progression path of a skill to be get level 35, cut teaks until 99. What's the point of unlocking higher level stuff if they're not worth chopping? So thankfully I was getting a decent XP rate cutting yews with all my Forestry World friends. Much slower than optimal 2 ticking, but I'm fine with that. I like chill gameplay. 62 woodcutting didn't take very long. But then there's fletching, and that's gonna take a bit. I need level 60 from 36. Quite a bit of XP. The obvious solution is to cut and string bows, but I wanted to test something out. At the Wintertide, you get some fletching XP when cutting bruma roots into kindling, scaling with your fletching level. Wintertide is great for early construction levels on an Iron Man, so why not see how much fletching XP I could get? Yeah, so I did a few solos and only got around 6,000 fletching XP. It's nice if you're doing Wintertide for any other reason than fletching XP, but if you need to fletch, why Wintertide? At level 40 fletching, you can turn Celastrus bark into battle staves at a slight loss, between 3 to 4 GP per XP. A bit steep, and it's not that much faster than cutting willow longbows, so I went with that instead. Cutting about 1500 willow longbows was enough to get me to level 50, and they actually turn a slight profit if you don't string them. Then I cut and strung maple short bows until 55, around 650 of them. By cutting, I'm slowing down my XP rate a bit, but I'm making profit. About 15 GP for the logs, 135 for the string, and the bows sell for about 200. After 55, I graduated to maple longbows, doing the same thing I did with the short bows, cut the logs, add the string. The profit was actually greater because maple longbows have a higher alch price while requiring the same inputs as short bows. Took less than 1,000 logs and strings for 60 fletching, a surprisingly easy grind. Now, the final boss, and several of the bosses throughout the quest, for Sins of the Father is, unsurprisingly, a vampire. For the low price of 80 Slayer points, you can unlock Vampire Slayer tasks. This means I can use a Slayer helmet during the quest for some extra damage and accuracy, assuming I can luck out and get a task. Blue dragons? No. Vampires. Oh, Neve, you know just what I like. Here's to you, Neve. May you live a long and happy life. Should anything happen to you, I'd be absolutely crushed. Time for Sins of the Father. Veliath, old friend. You just happen to be investigating something in sleep as soon as I show up? What a coincidence. Do you ever think this world is a simulation? Carl, why are you taking the long path around the town center? Did you accidentally forget to turn left, and now you're just playing it off and pretending you knew where you were going this whole time? When that happens to me, I just pull out my phone and pretend I got a text telling me to go somewhere else.
You know I cannot let you leave this place alive.
I didn't realize there'd be a fight right now. I'm not using a guide. I'll be right back. I'm back. So Ivan Strom is in the lineage of one of the 7 priestly warriors. You would think he'd be related to Vanstrom Klaus, considering his name is Ivan Strom, whatever. I'm assuming he's a descendant of Ivandis because subtlety, but he doesn't know this. Lots of mysterious genealogies in these vampire quests. Maybe we should tell him so he has more information so he can make decisions based on that instead of just, running off and trying to fight vampires head on. Oh well. Turns out Vanessa knew all about our plans this whole time, and she even knew the location of our secret base. That secret base so cleverly hidden in the basement of a little town just outside Meyerditch, right near Versenhaza. Why are we surprised that they knew exactly where it was? Good job, fellas. Crack team of freedom fighter. Wolverines. We're the Wolverines. Won't be a vampire quest without an NPC taking aggro and dying during the temple trek, huh? Yeah? What the hell is this puzzle? Oh, I got it. I'm so smart. Literally all he's good for. Plot necessary magic explosions. To enter Darkmire and kill Drakan, we need Vire Noble clothing, but we need to stink like a Vire Noble as well, but not one too notable. We need the blood of Damien Lucurt, the vampire who reinvigorated the sleeper plague in sleep. Honestly, I didn't mention anything about that because I'm not doing a blow-by-blow of this quest. Just, he's a vampire who was important. The fight was pretty easy though. Protect from magic, move when he throws a vial at you. Easy. The Slayer Helm bonuses were nice too.
No one may enter the Arboretum.
What if I did something for you?
Yeah, right.
I guess this is a decent woodcutting training method after the quest, but I think I'd rather do forestry stuff. It's more engaging. Here's a bunch of logs, Vertita. Now we need to make a blisterwood flail. And there's the blisterwood flail. Time for the confrontation with Lord Drakan. Well, shit. The fight with Vanstrom Klaus is actually pretty simple, all things considered. What makes it tough is how long the fight lasts. He's got 750 health, and after you get him down to 0, he heals back up to 200 and starts phase 2. He attacks with magic, but protection prayers don't completely block the damage, so it's not just a matter of dealing with the mechanics, you'll also have to heal up throughout the fight. In phase 1, he does a special attack every 8 to 10 auto attacks. He'll spawn a red orb in the arena, which will damage you if you run into it. You can lure Vanstrom to it and hurt him instead. It does about 30 damage, and while you're running over to it, you can eat which means it doesn't interrupt your attack cycle. Or you could try luring him to it and walk face first into it instead. He'll summon a Bloodveld, which explodes if you get too close to it, so you need to kill it from a distance. I use darts since they're quick. It leaves behind a little pool of acid when it dies, but that's not too hard to avoid. Finally, he'll say stare into the darkness, and you'll need to turn away from him to avoid taking a substantial amount of damage. During phase 2, protection pairs do nothing, so you just need to tank his hits. While this is happening, lightning will strike all over the arena, telegraphing its location with a small shadow a few takes beforehand. The goal of this phase is just to attack him, heal up when you need to, and avoid getting hit by the lightning because the lightning can hit very, very hard. I teleported out on my first attempt because I ran out of food. Second try didn't go much better. Barely had any food at the start of phase 2, and as soon as I goofed up dodging the lightning, I sort of dominoed into more damage. You get hit, try to eat, then get hit again because you're not paying attention to the shadows because you're trying to eat. It's not hard to die in a few seconds. Third try, same story, hit by the lightning. I try to eat, but Vampyre clips me for a tiny bit of damage before I can shove a pizza and an octopus into my mouth. This game's weird. Now, I don't know what the hell happened during this kill. I equipped my darts, clicked the Bloodveld, but I guess my guy decided to just run a few tiles over and stand there like an idiot. I re-equipped my flail thinking I did throw a dart because typically darts get thrown almost instantly being a 2-tick weapon, then realized the Bloodveld was still approaching. I ran away, threw another dart, but I guess I wasn't fast enough and died. Now looking back at the footage, I can see I got defense XP when the dart actually hit the Bloodveld and we both killed each other at the same time. Somehow I changed the attack style to long range at some point, which is why it was taking so long to actually throw the dart. Now this attempt pissed me off. Dead clicks, I guess? So, I was getting peeved. I was getting really peeved. First of all, it costs 50k to get your stuff back from Vampyre. I don't know if Death can reclaim these items or not. I never tried, but I assume not. But the cost isn't really that big of a deal. What's annoying is that I have to teleport to Versenhaza, run north to the little dock, take a boat to the Icene Graveyard, get my stuff back from Vampyre, teleport back to Versenhaza to resupply, run to the boat again, and then retry the fight. It'd be nice if Vampyre were just waiting for me in Versenhaza. What am I gaining by having to run to the graveyard first? It's annoying. Being the salty little shit that I am, I threw my hands up and decided the real problem was my gear, not me. Surely, it was the red dragon hide that was giving me trouble. All that avoidable damage I wasn't avoiding? No, not the issue. It was the slightly lower magic defense that kept making things go sideways. So I went grinding. First, I went to the Nightmare Zone to try out the AFK ranged method. You basically just set up a hard mode rumble with low defense enemies. King rolled, the Kendall, me, Tree Spirit, Count Draynor, but the XP wasn't all that fast. Instead, I returned to Fossil Island and camped Ammonite crabs for a few 100,000 XP. Took a bit, and I did get crashed by this dickhead, but I ended up walking away with a lot of fossils. Come on, stay behind the rock. I don't want to interrupt the level. Can you just stay behind the rock? There, 70 ranged. Time for Black Dragon Hide. The body and chaps have a combined magic defense of plus 68, while red is only plus 54. I thought it'd be better than that. Well, at least it looks good. Well, no, it doesn't. It looks, whatever. Let's try again. Damn it, I forgot my defender. And darts. Okay, so I figured out what works for the last phase. Always move to a spot without a shadow. Even if the square you're on isn't going to be hit by lightning, at least if you're always moving to an adjacent unshadowed tile, you'll never get struck by lightning accidentally. Just go zen and feel the ticks. Remember, old school is a rhythm game. Oh, thanks, Sapphire. Would have been pretty cool if you did that a few hours ago, but whatever. I guess you were just too emotionally fraught having learned that Vampyre was once your father. Oh, they're taking him prisoner? He'll be fine, he's got plot magic. Sins of the Father completed. Oh, it's called Sins of the Father because Vampyre is... right. First, the XP tome. 6 helpings of 15,000 XP, and it's all going into agility, getting me 66. Now that I have access to Darkmire, I can do some chill Firewatch slang. There's an altar to pray at right near the bank, and the Vires only use melee, so the only damage you take is the little bit you have to sacrifice to use the altar itself. Finishing up that Vampire Slayer task I got, which ended up only being 93 Vires due to all the vampires I was killing during the quest and in the Nightmare Zone since Count Draynor counts as a vampire, got me over 400k worth of loot. Every Vire being worth about 4.5k ain't too bad. And they have a rare chance of dropping a blood shard that sells for about 6 mil. You add it to an Amulet of Fury, and it gains a passive healing effect. When using melee, there's a 20% chance to heal 30% of the damage you do. That works out to an average of 6% of your damage turns into healing, but only with melee. It's not too bad, but the shard only lasts for 10,000 successful hits, then you need to buy a new shard for your amulet. There's also the Hallowed Sepulchre, an agility minigame of sorts. It's something I'm really interested in checking out, but that'll be for a different time.